Hi, this is Howard Galganov, and well, trying another video. We're doing it a little bit differently today. We don't have a wireless mic. We don't even have a mic on a long cord. It's one of those days, but you know, I get a lot of requests for videos, so we're going to try it anyways and see what happens. It's 90 degrees in the shade. I'm standing in the shade, and it's 90 degrees. It's Wednesday, and July the 13th. And it's a lovely day outside of all the other stuff. Now, even though it's hot, I want to tell you something. I don't sit on my butt and wait for things to happen. I was out yesterday on an equally hot day with my friend Frank, who owns the place where we lease for the horses, and I was way up on one of these sun shelters putting up the tin for his horses. And let me tell you, I don't need an exercise machine. I don't need a bicycle. I don't have to go jogging. All I got to do is do this in the sun for half an hour, and that'll take care of a week's exercise. A lot of people have expressed a lot of positive opinions on the editorials. They like them, which is great. They're hard to do. It's as I've said many times, we don't write any scripts. There's no talking notes. It's just from my heart to my mouth to your ears. And we want to thank you, by the way, for the good comments we get. We want to thank you for any comments we get, and we certainly want to thank you for spreading the word. I wrote an editorial today, which I think you probably read, and it has to do with an incident that happened to myself quite a few years ago in downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada. And the purpose of the editorial was to tell you just how close we are to the edge. How this small episode that happened just between one bum and myself, that meant nothing to anybody, that didn't change the world, that had it gone really bad, wouldn't have changed the world either, except, of course, for myself and my family and my friends. But it really represents how the world is moving, how the United States and Canada are moving. Now, Europe has already gone there, but I really don't give much of a damn about any of Europe, since the problems they have, they brought upon themselves, and they keep making things worse for themselves anyways. I care about Israel, I care about Canada, as I said, and I care about the United States, as I said, and that's it. I mean, that's really it. What's going to happen with the rest of the world is up to the rest of the world. But it doesn't have to happen to us. And when that bum, the vagrant, assaulted me, and there's no other word to use, he assaulted me. And he scared me, and I'm not a guy that's easily frightened. I don't scare easy. But this was different from anything I had ever encountered before. It was certainly different from a barroom brawl. It was different from a fight in a dojo, a karate fight, where we had rules and regulations, and no matter what happened, no one was going to die. This was different. This was real life, and it scared the holy crap out of me. Enough so that it really entered my mind, what should I do? And I did the only thing that was reasonable to do, the only responsible thing to do, the only right thing to do. But here's a guy who wanted what I had. He didn't want to work for it. He didn't ask me politely for it. He didn't suggest that we do some kind of a trade for it. He just wanted what I had. Doesn't that sort of sum up the way things are going in North America? That the takers are out there, they want what we have. But they're not alone. They have the government. The government is helping them take what we have. How unfair is that? And what are we supposed to do about it? Do we just shut up? Do we just bend over? Do we just give them and hope they'll go away and they'll stop bothering us? Well, they won't. This bum wouldn't either. The only thing that saved me from this bum was that he was more frightened of me than I was of him. And maybe I was equally as frightened, but I was prepared to stand and fight. And no matter what happened, I was not going to back down. I was not going to run away. There was nowhere to run anyways. And think about it. Where do we have to run? You know, I've been watching the American elections astutely, because it was going to happen in the United States on November the 8th is going to affect the entire world. It's certainly going to affect all of the United States, and it's going to have a major effect on Canada and on Israel. If the wrong person wins, and the wrong person in my mind is Hillary Clinton, I believe she's truly evil. If she wins, it's lost. There'll be nothing we can do to get back what we will have lost through this election, other than standing up for ourselves in ways that we don't even want to have to imagine. You think about it for a second. I don't know if you watched the congressional hearing with Loretta Lynch yesterday. It was disgraceful. Here's the nation's top cop. I mean, she's in charge of everything. She's the boss, next to her real boss, Barack Obama, but she's the boss. She refused to answer any questions. How can she just turn around and tell Congress, screw you? Basically, she told the American people, screw you. And she absolutely owned up to it without saying a word other than, I'm not saying anything, that there are two sets of laws for the people of the United States of America. And it's not just laws for you and me. I'm not an American, but you get my drift. It's not just laws for you and me and Hillary Clinton. It's laws for you and me and all the people who are in the same category as Hillary Clinton. All the other lawmakers, I don't even like calling them lawmakers, members of Congress, the House and the Senate, who think they're above the law. Well, they are above the law. They don't have to think it. Loretta Lynch just proved it. We're living in very troubled times. We're living in Ayn Rand times. We're living in times like 1984 when George Orwell was just telling a story. It's no longer a story. It's who we are. It's dystopia. It's the fall of our civilization, our rights, our freedoms. Everything the American founders sacrificed so much to win. We're watching it just blow away like sand in the wind. Because the people are either too stupid to understand how fragile and how valuable their rights are, or they're so greedy that they don't care as long as they're getting a free ride from someone somewhere, or they're just too damn dumb. I think it's a combination of all three. However, I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope because as much as I didn't like Trump at the beginning of this campaign period, I like him now. He is absolutely 100% consistent. He says what he thinks what he says, and I believe he's going to do all of it. I'm Howard Galganov. This is Galganov.com. It's actually video on Galganov.com. I want you to please tell your friends all about it, about the videos, but more about the editorials on Galganov.com. I hope I've said that enough times so that we all remember Galganov.com. And until the next video, and hopefully it'll be a little bit of a cooler day. I think in the sun it's well over 100 degrees today, by the way. I'll do a little work around here. I'll do a little construction because I enjoy doing it. But otherwise, it's strictly R&R, rest and relaxation, and maybe a cold beer. Take care and have a great, great day.